So this is video number 4, content strategy, and I'm just going to talk you through some ideas on what you should be doing, what you should be thinking about when we're talking about content. So for this example, I'm going to use this pet site, petaccessoriesuk.com. So this is basically a site I use for training videos. I also use it, obviously it's an affiliate website. So affiliate marketing is basically if I can attract people to this website and they click on one of the 3,800 products, or maybe this pet portrait site, if somebody then purchases from this site anything within 30 days, then obviously I earn commission on the sale. So that's kind of how affiliate marketing works. So the interesting things about this, we're going to go straight along to the menu. So it's always a good idea, certainly if you've got a lot of products and services, to incorporate into your marketing what's called a mega menu. So what we're doing is we're actually trying to cut the number of clicks to get that customer to where they actually need to be. So on a lot of websites you might find, for example, it will say dogs. So you click on dogs and then it gives all the dog treats, dog food, dog toys, etc. What we're trying to do here is cut the number of links so people go straight to the dog toys. So mega menu is always a good idea when you're building a website if you've got a lot of products and services. So the next one along, this here is where I put in pet questions. So I'm using a WordPress site. WordPress was designed originally as a platform for blogging, and obviously now you can buy you can add Woo plugin, which then makes it into a shop. I believe Woo is actually free, which is why I stopped myself from saying buy. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make here is that where most people would put blog, what you'll see here I put in pet questions, and that's because everyone's got a blog. So when you're thinking about your blogs, what you should be thinking about is what type of blog is it. We don't want broad blog. If you're doing property, you'd say it's a property blog, or whatever it is. So you'd obviously do the keyword research. So if I was just very quickly, I was doing property blog, I would be typing in, doing the keyword research to see if anyone's searching on that. So you can see here, property blog, 110 people are searching every month. The cost per click, 0, competition level, 0.03. So 3% competition level for blog property. So if we go back, what I've done is I've put in pet questions. So there's another part to this as well, where you'll see where I've got pet questions, cat questions, dog questions, etc. So how many times do you go on a website and you see an FAQ page? Okay, and then you go onto the FAQ page and they say 50 questions and answers that people are asking. So you have to think in a different way, okay? So what you actually need to think about is, if you are doing optimization, if you've got one page, you can only optimize one page, one URL for one individual keyword. So what we need to do is, ideally, we need as many pages on our website as possible. So ideally, when we're doing questions, those 50 questions on the FAQ page should actually have their own individual pages. So what I'd recommend is you actually treat questions like you would a blog, and you would just put them in posts under a category heading of questions, or like I have here, we've got cat questions, you've got dog questions. So the layout of your website is actually really quite important, and so If you've got FAQs, you've only got one page to optimize for whatever that might be. Let's just say we chose the word pet questions. If we've got 50 questions and they're all under that, if you separate them out, you've got another 50 pages where you can possibly get those in the snippets, in the adverts to the world. So you've got 50 more chances of getting hold of people who are asking those specific questions. So in this example, the reason I've used pet questions is because here you can see pet questions has 40 people searching. The cost per click is 0, so no competition and nobody actually bidding against me, and 2% competition level. So that's obviously a good thing. So we'll get rid of that. Next one is we go to the dog questions. Okay, so dog questions, how many people are searching on dog questions? 210 people. Cost per click 61p, and the competition level is 2% again. So the whole idea of the logic digital marketing methodology is to keep the cost as low as possible. And so for me, I would say, okay, I don't want to spend, let's say I don't want to spend any more than 20p. Okay, so 61p is out my budget. But I can still optimize for it on the page, and I can still do a page on that. So the things to note, if you go back to the SEO lesson, is here in the slug, you can actually see dog questions. You can see that in the H heading. Here, there'd be an image, and I've removed the image deliberately so you can see what I've named the image. So if you, again, hopefully you've watched video number 3 on SEO. So now we're putting that into practice. We're going to talk about link building in another video, which I believe is video number 6. But while we're here, I'm just going to quickly run over that as well. So there's internal and external linking strategies. So what you'll see here is this text. Okay, so this is called anchor text, and I've put in dog accessories. I'm not assuming just because we're on the dog page, and I'm not just putting accessories, because accessories is too broad. We're talking about specifically, we're talking about dog accessories. And this is what's called meaningful text. Okay, so if you put in, click here, read more, it doesn't really mean anything. You could put read more about dog accessories or whatever it was, but you need to be specific. And obviously when somebody clicks on that link, you ideally want it to go to a fully optimized page for this particular phrase. So I'll talk about link building in video number 6. So basically what I've done here is I've got all the dog questions. So the dog questions have come from the original keyword research we did. So that was video number 1. And then video number 2 was on the paid advertising. So we've got some of these ideas and content from the paid advertising. So what I've done is I put a list in there. Why do dogs eat grass? Why have they got wet noses? Why do they howl? Etc, etc. And then you get down to this really silly question here, which is, why does my dog lick me? Okay, so again, you can see in the slug at the top, why does my dog lick me? Here you can see the H heading, you can see where the image would be and what I've named the image. I've got some internal linking text here. So basically, if we go to the search now and just click on here, you can actually see, why does my dog lick me? So there's 3,600 people searching this term every month at a cost per click of 7p, so it's within my 20p budget. The competition level is 3%. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to now basically send as much traffic to this page as cheaply as possible. So the prime question is, why does my dog lick me? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Google search, and by the way, I'm using a Chrome extension here called Keyword Everywhere, and this is what gives me this data under here. Okay, so why does my dog lick me? And then what I'm going to do is just put a space. So I use this keyword everywhere because it gives you ideas on the fly as to what you should be doing. So in each of the answers here, we've got why does my dog lick me, the prime question, and then it says so much. There's 2,900 people at 8p. We've got why does my dog lick me when I pet her, 590 at 19p, so that's within my budget. All the time, 176p. Excessively is too much money for me at 24p because my top budget is 20p, if you remember. In the morning, 50, 0, 50, 0, 50, 0, 30, 0. Here at the bottom, after drinking water, 20, 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all these keywords here, okay, and I know they're all under 20p, but I suspect if you added all that up with the 3,600 that are already going for why does my dog lick me, there's probably almost 6,000 people a month asking that question. So I'm going to get all these questions together. I'm going to set that up in its own paid advertising campaign, set the budget to maximum 20p, and I'm going to drive all of the traffic into this page. Now what's going to happen is, because people are finding the answer to the question, which is the prime question, which is why does my dog lick me, they're finding what they want, they're staying on the page to read that content. When they stay on the page, Google sees that they're staying on the page, therefore the content must be relevant. And this is what's pushing your snippet, your advert to the world, up in the search engine results page. So hopefully what you're starting to see now is why it's important to get these foundations right, and it's about the integration of the channels. So how you use the keyword research, the paid advertising, in order to optimize and then to start doing your content strategy. And so these are all things that you should be considering, along with your internal linking strategy, and then obviously your external linking strategy coming into your site, confirming what you do. So hopefully you can sort of see how all this fits together. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to give you another example. So basically here we've got the original keyword research. So this is an LED lighting company. We've looked at all of their content, and here you can see they've got emergency lights, they've got fans, they've got ceiling lights, LEDs, desk lamps, etc. And you already know the floodlights, and here we've got the draft one copy. So if you haven't done your keyword research, this is what it should look like. The positive negative field, the positive with all the data, the questions relating to specifically, in this case, floodlights, and then the questions with the data, so you can identify which keywords and questions you should be focusing on more, because obviously there's more people searching on them. So the next one is obviously this content. So each one of these folders represents a content folder, okay? So a blog. But actually, within each one of these, there may be related questions. So what I've done is I've got this floodlight halogen bulb, and I'm just going to make it a lot bigger so you can see what exactly I'm doing and how we've got this data together. So basically what I've done is I know that you can see at the top the spreadsheet is called floodlight halogen bulb. So I know that if I want to rank highly on Google for a floodlight halogen bulb, what I need to do is I also need to focus on these keywords. So if the URL I was looking at, and if I was monitoring it every day, I would see the URL and I would see the position of that URL, along with obviously its number of people searching per month. So how have I got this data here? I haven't guessed it. What I've done is I've gone to the search engine results page. I've typed in floodlight halogen bulb. These people are obviously, they're at the top of the search. So these guys have already got the algorithm right. Okay. So what I've done in column B, I've looked at all the titles and meta descriptions and got the key phrases that these guys are using, and I've put them all in column B. Yeah, when I'm doing the research, and column B, yeah, is actually what I've got here. So these are the keywords that I've identified from all of those sites as to the keywords that I should be focusing on. Now, the thing to remember here as well is that Google clusters data together. So you'll notice these ones here have all got 320 searches. And you'll also notice they've all got the word floodlight halogen bulb. Okay? So Google considers this as one keyword. So it's a bit like if I said hotels London, London hotels, it's the same thing. So in Google's eyes, these are all considered to be the same phrase. They have the same number of searches. And likewise, ones above have 210 searches. These have all got security halogen bulb. Yep, so again, that's considered to be one keyword. So it's worth remembering that because, well, you'll find out in a second. We've also got, down the bottom tabs, we've also got advanced SERPs. So you can also start to see what their titles are, how long their titles are, what the meta descriptions they've used, and that should give you some ideas as to what you need to put in your titles, etc. Again, it's about doing the keyword research and offering a unique proposition. So what is unique? What is going to make somebody click on that snippet? So if you refer back to the SEO video, video number 3, I believe it was, then obviously you'll know what I'm talking about, hopefully. You've also got the questions. So remember when I said to you, each one of these represents a sort of a blog post or whatever that might be. These are also considered to be blog posts. So if you go back to the pet example where I had that FAQ page, and I was saying, well, we can only optimize for one keyword, but if we separate the questions and use the questions as blog posts, we can actually start to drive traffic from the questions as well. So in fact, actually, when you look at this folder, it may look like you've got maybe, I don't know, 50, maybe a few more, but maybe within those, you've probably got another, however many questions. So in this example, we've actually got the main blog, but we've also got another 17 questions here. So what we need to do is go to the advanced questions, and again I'm going to make this bigger because I need to show you something on here. So what you'll see is the questions are grouped together. So you see the same question 4 times. Here you see it a couple of times more. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all of them except one. Okay, so let's just get rid of that one. So the question we want to answer is, why are halogen lights being banned? Okay, and so what we need to do is we need to answer the question, and we want these keywords to be within the content. Okay, so these keywords here, along with these keywords here, are actually going to make up our anchor text. When we're answering those questions, we can use meaningful a linking strategy, and obviously we're talking about the floodlight halogen bulbs. So the next stage of this is, if we go back, we've got a ChatGPT script. So here we've got, let me just get rid of that one so we can see what we're doing here. So first of all, we've got, let me just see if I can just move this a little bit here, so side by side. Okay, so here we've got write a document, 2,500 words, okay, on the topic of, and what we're going to do is we're going to replace this one here with the name of the spreadsheet at the top. So floodlight halogen bulb, and we want a H heading with exactly the same name. We then want to put a maximum of 4 keywords in there, and these are obviously going to be our internal linking strategy, because we're going to have other pages with relevancy that are optimized for these particular keywords. So I'm going to choose 4 keywords and I'm going to get them from here. Now what I have to remember again is this data is clustered, so I just choose one of these. I choose one of these and I'll choose this one and this one. Okay, so that's the 4 keywords. So I'll put that in there, and then sparingly use the brand, and then here put in a link to your website. So it could be a product, it could be a service page, whatever that might be, and then all we do, copy and paste that and put that straight into ChatGPT. Never ever copy and paste straight from ChatGPT into, or at least don't make it live until you've adjusted the content. Okay, so one of the reasons we're actually putting our brand in and the link to our site is to customize it. And obviously we can then, when it writes that content, you'll find these keywords here are actually within the content, which are then going to be your linking strategy. Yeah. So we've also then got one for tweets. So here again, we can replace this. So although it says 5 tweets, so what we use this for is, if like me, you're not particularly into social media in a big way, if you wanted just a lights on campaign, maybe even you can't afford to pay somebody to do this type of stuff for you, you might get a scheduling tool, something like Hootsuite for example, and then what you do is you might say, instead of create 5, you might say create 50 or 500, or you might pick out your different products and services and do 5 of each, which would probably be better, because then you can put in your different links to your products here. And so what that will do then is write out all your tweets for you, so you copy and paste them into your scheduling tool. Yeah, so let's say you end up with 500 tweets. What you can then do is reschedule those same tweets over and over, and nobody's really going to notice that they are the same content over, because if you've got like 500 and you're only posting 1 a day, obviously 365 days in a year, nobody's really going to notice that. But you might say, okay, well, let's do 2 a day or whatever it is, but you can just keep on rescheduling them. And then obviously in the scheduling tool, if you've got something special you want to say, you can just add to that. So it's a good way you can do what I call a lights on campaign, social media campaign. You've then got this one, which is questions. So if we go back to our data sheet and go to the questions we were looking at before, we know our question is, why are halogen light bulbs being banned? So here, this is where we would put that here. Okay, and then what we do is we're going to replace these keywords here with the keywords that we've got here. Okay, and again, what we're going to do is answer the question. We're going to put these keywords within the content, and this is going to make your anchor text, so you can start linking into your products and services page. And obviously, if you can get optimized pages for them as well, that's good. And each one of these questions will then have an independent page so you can optimize for the question. So if somebody's actually typing that question in, the chances are there's not many people doing paid advertising on questions, so that could be a cheap way of doing it. Or you could probably get to the top of the organic search for the same thing. So that comes back to the pet examples. So the last one is similar sort of thing for LinkedIn. So this is the type of thing you would use. So that sort of gives you some ideas on content. The only other thing I would say is, the whole of this strategy. So here's a picture of the Mary Rose. They didn't just grab this ship, put a chain over the side and drag the ship up. They had to make this cradle, to actually lift the boat up from the bottom of the ocean, and what they did was they brought it up really, really slowly, okay. So they didn't just hook the line on, because if they'd done that and dragged it up, obviously it would be in bits, okay. And this is very similar to your website. What we're trying to do is we're trying to bring the combination of all the foundations of your digital marketing. So the keyword research, the paid advertising is helping, the SEO, the content strategy, your internal linking strategy, your external linking strategy, and what we're trying to do is bring your website up slowly. Now, if we didn't have, or we were missing, say we were missing SEO or whatever it is, imagine those as straps, just like under this boat. So we've got keyword research, we've got paid advertising, we've got the SEO, we've got content strategy. Imagine if you didn't have the SEO strap. Clearly it's possible that the boat is going to break. If you didn't have the content strategy, or you just had maybe the keyword research, in fact actually the boat will crumble up, and so will your website. You've got to do this in a methodical way, and that's what the Logic Digital Marketing methodology is all about. As a consultant, I've seen so many websites and they all make exactly the same mistake, and that's why we specialise in the foundations of everything you do online. So last thing I'm going to show you is some more ideas on ChatGPT, as it's a very popular topic at the moment, and what you can do is you can actually make GPTs within ChatGPT, so which probably sounds a little bit strange, but here we go. So I've done two examples here for you. So this one is called Free Top Keyword Finder. So basically it will give you a list of keywords, their number of volume of searches, along with all questions relating to that. So not all questions, but I think it's 20 questions or something. So if I sell dog food, for example, what I can do is it will then give me all the top keywords for dog food along with the number of searches on that. So there's only 10 on this one, but sometimes it does like 50, it just depends on the topic. And then it's giving me 20 relevant questions with the answers about what people are, commonly asked questions about dog food. So that's obviously a useful GPT there if you've got that. The other one I've got is for interesting and unique content ideas, so the titles basically. So if we sold yellow dresses, as the example here, what this will do is it will give you some suggestions, 30 suggestions on title ideas. And then again what it will do is it will give you 30 commonly asked questions on yellow dresses, and again you can use this as blog questions, and what I would do is try and customize these questions with links back to your website, or maybe to some help files or something or other that's going to help that customer find more details and answer the question that they're asking. And obviously, the more relevant the questions and the content, the more popular your website becomes. So I think I've just about covered off content strategy ideas. If you've got any questions, obviously you can come back to me. Thank you.